Alright, so today I am day 3 into a fast, so I just thought I'd make a video or an image with an audio recording to celebrate this day. And it's not really a podcast, it's just a video vlog where I recount my day. So I've been playing Half-Life, and yeah, I've got my Word documents and Google Docs up. I am still looking for a job and my battery's low, even with the recording. Okay. I'm going to open a bunch of my docs for ideas. And yeah. I watched a philosophy podcast last night referring and regarding nihilism, which, I think everyone deals with these days. Even my family members are starting to see the meaninglessness in like modern life and just the way things seem to be. So that could be an issue. Yeah. Yeah, really. I might go through some of my tweets. What do we got? Anything useful I've said? You're probably just dehydrated. Yeah. A lot of the time when you're having some kind of issue, you're probably just dehydrated, and it can be solved by drinking water. So try that. Okay, something about fasting. You definitely focus more. Like, definitely, when I was eating like loads of pasta and carbs, even just last week, I stopped reading. I didn't read books, and now like at the end of the day before bed, I will like read a few chapters of a book. So it's like the focus is back. Like, weirdly enough, by not eating anything, you kind of get brain power. I don't really know what the source of that is. I researched aphalgamus. Sorry, I butchered it. I forgot what it's called. Anphomus. It's a word. It starts with A. It happens after 12 hours of fasting. It's like your cells regenerate. So that's interesting. Freeze response. Yeah. So I was thinking recently, like maybe I'm in kind of an extended state of freeze response. I always have kind of felt like, oh, I'm kind of stuck in. I don't take action. I'm not doing anything. I'm not messaging anyone. I'm not like actively engaging with my life. And it's because I realize I'm having like a long-term freeze response from my childhood. Like, you are acting out your survival instincts from when you were a baby. So like the way you've grown used to surviving is the way you've now set up a kind of survival mechanism. So you'll basically just not do anything. Like, if you grew up hiding, shying away from like a narcissistic parent or like bullies for friends, like you've always spent your life kind of hiding and freezing to stay out of the limelight, like making yourself not noticeable. As an adult, that will manifest as trying to make yourself not noticeable, using an anonymous account, not posting on social media, like trying to not be seen, trying to like stay stagnant, like not making moves and actions. Like, that's freeze response just happening 20 years later. So I want to make that very clear. Like, you probably are in freeze response if you're not really doing anything. If you've just constantly just not been applying for jobs, like not sending emails, just not actively engaging with life, you're probably in freeze response, and you just need to like break out of it, like break your nervous system out. And I'm not really sure how. Like, change your diet, do something drastic, but like you have to do something. No one's gonna congratulate you for suffering in silence. It's like, yeah, like sometimes you do need to make like assert yourself, like make your needs known. Otherwise, once again, nothing gets done. Like, you inserting yourself in the world, you being assertive, you being the right post on the wrong page, you can make all the difference in the world. Like, it's true what they say at the start of Half-Life 2. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. And that's exactly how it works. You have to assert yourself. You can't just like remain default all the time. You have to push yourself into an environment or a situation and then stick to it. Conflict is the key to all story. That was something I realized while I was watching Lost, because I noticed just how conflict reliant it is, and it's like all conflict is based on story. Like, you just nothing to talk about, nothing to do, no plot for this episode. Make these two characters have an issue with each other, and then you have a whole 40-minute plot based on exploring an idea. And like whenever you're out of ideas, it's like conflict drives the plot. That's how everything works. And like that's obvious, but like once you've pointed it out, you start to notice it in everything. Like, oh, the plot only moves forward when there's some kind of conflict. And then there's never a moment where they're chill. There might be one scene. There's always one scene, like a calm before the storm, where there's no huge conflict. But even in a small scene, there's a conflict. Like a conversation on some level is a conflict. Like the 3-act arc of merely a conversation can still be a thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. So it's possible. Also, I was thinking about how important speaking is, and that's probably why I'm back to doing this podcast. Yeah. Although I'm playing Half-Life again, and I'm noticing just how interesting the puzzle making is. Like, something happens constantly, like every 2 seconds. Every time you engage with the environment, something new happens. Like, it keeps you engaged. Something new happens every time. Like, it keeps going and it keeps you going, and it's actually really interesting and useful to see that they're actually doing that and sticking to it. Like, it's interesting. It's cool. So I appreciate them doing that. Going for walks is very important. Does this podcast even have a topic? Not particularly. I'll talk about fasting some more. Autophagy. I think that's it. Autophagy. It's like when the cells regenerate. So I think that's what I'm going through right now. I'm probably 66 hours in or so. It's 1 p.m. on day 3, and I decided to make a podcast recording again. So I clearly feel kind of like a bit, I don't know, regenerated, a bit reborn maybe, something like that. Yeah, why not? Yeah. I'm going to go through some more of my documents. Anything interesting? Advocate for yourself. Maybe set up a topic for these. Although I prefer just jumping into these podcasts, because if I prepare too much, it makes me hesitant. Like, it almost like if I over prepare, I won't take action. So I'm just going to open up a bunch of documents. Chromakopia by Tyler the Creator came out recently. Really good album. Reminds me of Cherry Bomb in a lot of ways. I think the original intention of him making Cherry Bomb was fully articulated and explored in this album. Like, what he wanted Cherry Bomb to be 9 years ago, from my perspective, is what he made Chromakopia today. Like, the way he wanted it to be perceived, he actually pulled it off. But he had to have years of like training and like building up his reputation. Instead of just having the Wolf trilogy, now he has, the Flower Boy Igor trilogy. And so people have this trust in him. So he was able to be the level of experimental he wanted to be in 2015. At least that's the way I see it. Because like the album sequencing was very much reminiscent of Cherry Bomb. Like, you'll have the inspirational message, like, find your wings, like, can you feel the light inside? Like, there's that theme again, that motif of, like, inspiration and self-belief and, like, some kind of divinity. Finding your purpose, finding your wings, finding your light. Like, it's a similar thematic entry. And then even just sonically, like, Ratata has those descending synths that Brownstains of Darkisi has, like do 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 do. Like it shares that, like the like from the chill track to the chaotic track to the chill track to the chaotic track, which is what Cherry Bomb's all about. That like that contrast, that juxtaposition of the beautiful with the ugly, the chill with the aggressive. You know, Flower Boy. See you again. Then who that boy? Bastard, like bastard. Then seven. It's like he loves doing those aggressive, then chill, then show my sensitive side, and then my braggadocio aggressive side that's protecting my, you know, whenever I'm showing my sensitivity, it's like I have to mask it with braggadocio afterwards. So you know, I'm both. I can be tough and I can be sensitive. It's very much that vibe. So Chromacopia, great album. I think he pulled off what he wanted to do with Cherry Bomb all these years later. And there's always like these little thematic callbacks, like left shoulder, right shoulder is reminiscent of the left right moment of Radicals, like a Goblin callback. Like him, obviously calling back to Inglorious, Bastard, Answer. Like every time he talks about his dad, Jamba, like these moments, and it's like this full character arc of like, oh, I thought you abandoned me, and oh, actually, my mum is the one that like kept us apart. She didn't want us to have a relationship. She didn't want you to be part of my life. And then now it's like I have this like emotional closure as like a 30-year-old man for like why I have all these issues with dating and like why I can't keep a partner or why I'm kind of scared to have kids. Like it's kind of beautiful to see like what he did there. Yeah, I just find it very interesting that he did that. I think I put. I think I have a wallpaper of it somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Whoa, sorry, I've kind of messed this one up. How about a Half-Life background? There you go. Oh, that's huge. Whoa. How do I zoom out? Sorry, 1 second. Okay, we're back. 12 minutes so far, pretty good. All right, Chromacopia. I think that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Great message. Like he definitely learned from his mistakes of Cherry Bomb. Even though I personally love it, obviously everyone disagrees with that, and people think it's weak and it's like a weak entry. And although some tracks like Run kind of are weird and don't fit the message, they fit the message, just not the themes. People weren't ready for that like ADHD playlist style entry. And a similar thing with Bando Stone, like people didn't grow up on Cul-de-sac, they grew up on Awaken My Love, so they expected him to do like his modern like Gambino style, but in the end he kind of ended up doing like a cul-de-sac where he just kind of jumps genre every track, like rock, then hip hop, then pop. It's like jumping around genres. People aren't ready for that. I think, but I think it fits the playlist generation. I think we live in this playlist generation, and they weren't really ready for that. So yeah, I really enjoy Bando Stone and Chromacopia. I'm glad they were released. Good albums. Yeah. What's Chromacopia, coconut oil, keto, seed oils, all that stuff. Like, yeah, seed oils are bad. I think hopefully that will be spread. Hopefully. Because it's kind of sad to see everyone disagreeing with that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I had an argument with some people about seed oils, but I'm not going to pursue the point that much. Obviously, the situation in America, like people did not expect the Republicans to win, so there you go. They have kind of a weird X-Men dream team. I don't know. Like, I haven't researched many of the team, the cabinet, but it seems like an interesting mix. I'm excited to see what they'll do. I'm not really necessarily in or against support but I'm just interested to see if they can change America and potentially domino effect that to the rest of the world. So hopefully something interesting could happen. Like, I'm not all cynical, like I'm not like hyper leftist, I would say. Although I saw a quote that said left wing, right wing, same bird, which was interesting because it's like, left wing and right wing don't seem that different in the end. Yeah, anyway, I don't really want to. I've never been a political guy, so I don't really want to talk about politics, even though I'm not even American. Your battery is very low. Yeah, I definitely need a new laptop or a new battery or new everything, so I need to put in some work. Seems anytime I strain my PC, it just goes all nuts. Like, no, you can't do this. Okay, I'm going to close load of my tabs here. It's just a bit much. I think anything much to talk about. Any songs I want to talk about? Any music? No. I might go into an in-depth discussion about Stone next time. I don't necessarily want to do a huge podcast. I want to start small, like 20-minute episodes. Something like that. I recently re-listened to The Bends. I haven't really listened to The Bends in a while. Great album. It can be a bit Brit rocky at times. OK Computer kind of, evades that issue. Yeah. I've been downloading a lot of music recently because I cancelled my Spotify and YouTube Premium. But, yeah. At some point, you need to start doing stuff again. You can't just, indulge in your vices. Like, you need to get a hobby again. You need to do stuff. You need to create something. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, great album. There's a lot of albums that I'm, hearing for the first time recently because I'm getting into them, and it's, this weird moment of, oh, wow, I've been missing out on this for ages. All these albums are very spiritual. You don't realize they're spiritual until later in life. So, yeah. Good stuff. Great stuff. Yeah. Some good albums. There's some good music out there. There's really some good music. It's something I'm glad of, to be able to experience music, even if I'm not really. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, go play Half-Life 2. Happy anniversary. Go listen to Chromacopia. Yeah. Go listen to Stone and The New World. Cool. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.